Hey everyone, Sheppe here. Today I'm going to show you how to graduate your WGU degree, how to speedrun it, how to get it done fast, because that's why a lot of you attend Western Governors University. A lot of you do not know about acceleration, but a lot of you do choose the school because of things you've seen on Reddit and on YouTube. You've probably seen a lot of my videos. You've probably seen like a lot of Josh Madacor's videos. So a lot of people on YouTube saying you can complete the degree fast. A lot of people on Reddit saying you can complete the degree fast. What drawn me to WGU a long time ago, I believe this was all the way back in 2020, what drew me to the school was a post. Somebody posted about one of the degrees can be done in 6 months. He had a lot of experience in that field, like 20 years experience, but he was able to complete it in 6 months. And he had 0 credits, actually. He didn't transfer in any ACE credits, which is just absolutely phenomenal, right? So he transferred in nothing, and he completed about 120 credits in 6 months. And this was the accounting program. So it blew my mind. I was like, whoa, is this for real? So I even messaged the guy because I never really take anything at face value. I messaged the guy and I'm like, dude, did you really do this in 6 months? And he's like, yeah, I basically hammered school like 8 to 10 hours a day, and I already had like a lot of experience with this stuff. So I didn't really have to dive into the textbook, is what he was saying. So it just blew my mind, and it really made me enroll in WGU like that. And before I dive into the speedrun today, before I dive into that, I actually applied to WGU, and I sent in my community college transcripts and my high school transcript and all that good stuff. And I was actually denied. I was actually denied from WGU because my GPA was only like, I didn't take community college too seriously at the time. So my community college GPA was like 1.9, 2.0. And they denied me, right? So I was like, oh man, that's a bummer. And then I learned about ACE credits through my own research. And I took a couple courses on SPEEDRUN and a couple courses on study.com. And I just got addicted. Like, it's really addicting, actually. The model of ACE credits, where you can complete a course in a few days, it just makes you want to complete course after course after course. And for those of you not aware what ACE credits are, this is how you can complete your WGU degree fast. While I did mention the accounting person did complete their degree with no transfer credits, that is very rare, and WGU has made their degrees slightly harder and more difficult over the past 5 years. Not too much more difficult, but completing 120 credits in one term I think would be almost impossible for a lot of these degrees now, outside of possibly the marketing degree and maybe a couple others. The marketing one and maybe business management, you can go from 0 to 120 in 6 months. It would take a lot of time and quite a grind. But for the most part, how you complete these degrees fast is by transferring in ACE credits. If you can get like at least 50 and kind of get like a jump start on your degree, get 45% of your degree done, you can really get most of these degrees done in 2 terms. And I would transfer in whatever the max is. They used to allow up to 90, but most of the degrees now, they only allow like 75, 80. And for some of them, they only allow 60 to 65. But I would still transfer in whatever the max is, and that'll lower your term time at WGU. So the less time you spend at WGU, the better, because you pay less money. Now, some people get financial aid, and they don't really care about graduating fast, right? If you have financial aid that covers your full tuition and you don't care about graduating fast, then this is not what this video doesn't really appeal to you, right? This video is for people who want to graduate fast and also save money. So if your financial aid is not covering your full semester, ACE credits is much cheaper, right? So you want to transfer in as much as possible, and it's faster. Generally, the ACE credit courses are faster, although WGU sometimes has really fast courses as well. So overall, you would go to these platforms like study.com, and if you need a 10% discount to study.com, I have a link in the description. That'll give you 10% off your first month at study.com. That is still good for a limited time only in the description. I think some people do have Sophia discounts too. I personally don't have any, but you can check online for those too. As for SPEEDRUN, I don't think they do discounts to my knowledge. But anyways, you would basically sign up for these platforms, and there's other platforms too. There's Sailor. There's a lot of ACE credit platforms, but there's the big 3, which is Study and Sophia and SPEEDRUN. And you would sign up for these courses. I have spreadsheets at my website, majormash.com, And then you would use that spreadsheet and it would show you all the transfer courses. And that will show you what courses you need to transfer in, all the courses that would transfer to WGU. For example, computer architecture at study.com and this course on this platform, etc. So my spreadsheets basically give you a program, a transfer guideline, and all the work has been done for you. You just follow the guideline, you follow all the transfer courses, you take all those courses, and then you send all those transcripts to WGU, and then voila. You, within 3 to 5 months, over half your degree is already completed before you even enroll. Before you even enroll in WGU. Like 60% of your degree can already be completed. And that's one of the really cool things about a lot of these schools like WGU and TESU and other schools where you can accelerate. And these are very legitimate schools. All the schools I talk about are regionally accredited, and 99% of them are nonprofit. I think all of them are nonprofit, actually. Grand Canyon actually just recently went nonprofit. At least one of their employees just spoke to me recently saying they went back to nonprofit. I haven't fact-checked that yet, but if that's true, basically every school I talk about is nonprofit. So I do kind of try to avoid the for-profit schools. And I avoid all nationally accredited schools. I only talk about regionally accredited. For example, University of the People, I didn't even start talking about them until they became regionally accredited. Now, WGU is a great school, and you can go on LinkedIn and type in WGU grads, and you'll see so many of them have really good jobs. The great thing about WGU is you can go over there for your bachelor's or your master's or both, and you could really, if you wanted a bachelor's and a master's from WGU, you can realistically do both in 1 year. It would be tough, but it's realistically possible. It is the only place on the planet where you can get a bachelor's and a master's in 1 year, which is insane. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. I was able to complete my software engineering master's in 2 months. 2 months, maybe closer to 2.5 months, but I got it done in that time frame. And I'm very grateful for that. I learned a lot. It was very challenging. Now, you might think 2 months software engineering master's, that's a little ridiculous, but no. I spent, 7 to 8 to 9 hours a day on school every single day on it. And, it was challenging, and I was already very experienced in the skill set. I was already very experienced in what it was teaching, right? So I already knew every single course, like what the material was. I didn't dive into the textbook at all in the school. And you guys can do this with WGU too. You can average 1 week per course, right? Like if you get one course done a week, you will fly through the program. 1 term, 2 terms, whatever it may be, you will fly through the program. I have so many videos that can help you guys out, such as WGU acceleration tactics, WGU how to accelerate, WGU OA. You can go check out a lot of my videos, and they will definitely give you some tips and help you out. For example, I recommend not diving into the textbook unless you really, really don't know the material at all. I think the textbook is just kind of a waste of time for the most part. If you're attending the WGU, yes, you want to learn, but you also want to accelerate. And the textbook is designed to slow you down at any school. Let's face facts. Textbooks are not a great learning model in this day and age. They're clunky. They're just very boring material. It's just not the new way to learn anymore. People learn on YouTube. People learn by signing up for courses. People learn by AI, right? Just type into AI, hey, teach me this, right? The free version of AI is not the greatest, but if you get like any of the premium versions, and you say, hey, AI, teach me this. I'm trying to learn WGU's computer architecture class. Teach me everything I need to know. Okay, dive more into this. Dive more into this, right? Like it's extremely effective. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think professors can be like replaced, but when it comes to like online schools and textbooks and things like that, I think you could absolutely just kind of teach yourself with AI. Personally, I engage with it better than I would like a textbook, right? Now, obviously quality lectures are amazing, but when you're trying to accelerate school, you're not trying to watch lectures, right? You're trying to get through the degree as fast as you can. That's why many of you watch my videos. That's why many of you are going to WGU, is you're trying to accelerate. You're trying to change your career fast, right? Almost all of you are people that are trying to graduate fast and change your life. because a lot of you are probably living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of you are probably trying to change your career. You're trying to break into tech. You're trying to break into healthcare, like nursing, some other healthcare job, right? You're trying to change your life, and WGU gives you this perfectly affordable opportunity and an accelerated opportunity. Because a lot of people don't want to go 4 years into college, right? They want to change their life, and they're like, oh, 4 years and $50,000? No, thank you. I'll keep struggling, right? Because that's 4 to 5 years is a huge commitment, okay? And some people need to change their life way faster than 4 to 5 years. And then you got the debt of like $50,000. And that's why I try so hard to teach people this outcome of WGU and trying to change your life, right? So this video, the original idea was to show you how to speedrun. I've already done that in almost 100 videos. I've shown you guys how to speedrun. And so you guys can watch any of those videos. Basically, go to my website, majormash.com. You can download any of the transfer spreadsheets and sign up for those courses. And you can get those courses done in 2-3 days each. Imagine getting 3 college credits in about 3 days. Yes, it is that possible. You can also download my app, UniBoost. So UniBoost is an iOS app I developed. I am the sole developer of that app. And basically, you can pick any WGU program you want, and it'll show you each course you need to take to transfer into the program. So it does all the work for you. And that app is totally free. You have some people charging $500 for the same thing my app provides for free. People call me crazy. I have close friends, business mentors. A lot of people say I'm nuts for all the content I give for free. Not that I'm trying to toot my own horn, but I want you guys to succeed. I want you guys to live a good life. And I want you guys to graduate college. That's why people, I respect everyone's hustle. Don't get me wrong, right? It kind of annoys me when people on the internet complain, oh, this person's just trying to get money, right? I respect everyone's hustle. If somebody wants to try to make money off it, I totally respect that hustle. Look at everything from a business perspective. If somebody put valuable time and valuable hours, then they're well within their right to be compensated for that. Time is valuable, guys. Your time is valuable. My time is valuable. Everybody's time is valuable, right? It's hard to do things for free when you are swamped with time. One thing my brother always taught me when I was younger was, if you're going to do something, try to at least be somewhat fairly compensated for it. So I would recommend any hobby you have, right? Even if it starts out as a hobby, like let's say you start a podcast, the Joe Rogan podcast, for example. He started that for, just laughs and having a good time with his friends, right? But eventually it became a huge podcast that has probably made over $300 million lifetime, I'd imagine, right? He probably had no plans on that. But if you're going to start a hobby, you should make sure the plan for that hobby does eventually have some kind of plan to make money, right? Because you can't have all your free time for free, if that makes any sense to you guys. You should try to monetize your free time, is what I'm saying, if you want to live a comfortable life. If you're not making any money in your free time, then it's going to be harder to make a good living, right? So I guess the point of this part of the video is basically saying, not only go get your college degree, guys, but also do something on the side too. Companies are great, and, go get your bag, but also you should have multiple streams of income, and you should start a hobby you're passionate about, whether it's a YouTube channel, TikTok, or maybe writing a book and trying to sell a book. Like, you should do something in your spare time that makes money. I think everybody in America should be at least an entrepreneur on the side, right? Like, I don't think anybody in America should just be a W-2 employee, unless you're making like $500,000 a year, like level 7 software engineer or something like that, right? But besides that, I think every person should have some kind of entrepreneur spirit and side gig, right? I don't care what your degree is. I don't care what your job is. Everybody should be trying some kind of side hustle. Your free time, and I'm not judging, right? Because I've been there, I've done it, but your free time should not be playing video games for 5-6 hours. Your free time should not be, just be relaxing and watching TV for 6 hours. Like, that doesn't benefit your life, right? It really doesn't. You can still do those things. life is about having fun and doing things you enjoy. I agree with that, right? I do agree with that. However, you should be trying some kind of side hustle to make sure you make even more money and live an even more comfortable life. Unfortunately, life is about making money so you can be comfortable. I wish life wasn't like that. I have mixed feelings about it. Obviously, I like money, but I love my time too. So trust me, it's very frustrating. But anyways, go get your degree. I would recommend anything in tech and healthcare. That's always what I recommend. Although I do love the business degrees too. I love the accounting and finance degrees. I love the user experience design degree as well. There's so many good degrees you can pick at WGU. And no, I have no affiliation with the school. I do this because I really support the school and I love their competency-based accelerated model, and that they're so friendly accepting transfer credits from these places like study.com. So like I said, no affiliation with the school. The school has never paid me a dime, not one dime. No, I have mixed feelings about that as well, actually, because I've made them probably close to $100 million in tuition the past couple of years. But overall, like, I do this because I want you guys to better your life and I want you guys to, succeed. So watch all my other videos on how you can pass every WGU course successfully and fast, and watch my videos on what courses to transfer into the degree. Basically, I have a whole video catalog that will help you out. And I would recommend watching my few accelerated videos called Acceleration Tactics and WGU Cheat Codes. I'll try to leave the links in the description. Watch my study.com video of my most recent one on how you can get a bunch of credits in 5-6 months. And you can watch my WGU OA and PA videos, which show you how to pass those courses fast as well. So there's many courses you can watch. You can watch the degree program videos too, like WGU Computer Science, and that'll show you every single course that you need to take to transfer in to the program. So like I said, if you plan on attending WGU, a lot of information on my channel, a lot of videos on my channel, and I try to keep it up to date as much as possible. So once again, check out my website, majormash.com, and check out my app, currently only on iOS, called UniBoost. It's doing pretty well. It's got 4.9 out of 5, which I really appreciate. If you guys can check it out and also leave a review, I would really appreciate that. It's only had one non-5-star review, which was a 3-star review by somebody who said, they said it doesn't run on iOS 16. Well, as iOS versions come out, more features are released, right? So all the features that I use are only compatible with iOS 17 and above. So if you have iOS 17 or iOS 18 or iOS 26, it works on those phones. But iOS 16, the features are a little old, and a lot of apps are not even running on iOS 16 still. If they are, it's like a very legacy version, and I built my app recently. So, but yeah, that was the only bad review, which I don't think was warranted, although everyone is free to say whatever they want. So, but anyways, this is Alex. I hope you found this video useful. I'm trying to get back in the spirit of making videos, so I'm sorry if a little bit of this video is off topic here and there. You guys know me. I like to just kind of freely talk. My videos never have a script. So I try to keep it to the video title, to the video topic, but sometimes I might get a little bit off topic. But I think this whole video, if you watch it start to finish, can help you in a lot of ways. So thank you once again. Please subscribe, like, comment, especially comment. When you comment, it pushes the video into the algorithm, and then a whole bunch of other people will see it. And I really do appreciate that. So if you guys could comment, that would mean a lot. And also like and subscribe as well. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope I have helped you guys. I hope I have helped to make a difference in your life. I always appreciate the comments you guys leave me on the Facebook group, WG Degree Hacking, on the YouTube. A lot of you catch me by surprise and tell me like, hey, Alex, I could have never done this without you, and you changed my life. I was like, wow, I really helped you change your life. Like, sometimes it just kind of leaves me speechless. Like, wow, I really helped this person just by making some YouTube videos. So I'm really grateful and happy that I could help you guys. Like, that means a lot to me. Okay, so I don't get those comments too often, but I do get them. And they mean the world to me. They really do. So thank you guys once again. I'm going to sign off now. So take care, okay?